Hi Capricorn, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. I hope everybody is doing really well. I do want to take a quick second just to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Capricorn out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, Capricorn, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Capricorn? Capricorn. Well, that's a little mini. Let's try that again. Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, you're starting out with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. You have the Nine of Pentacles, and you have the Queen of Swords. So I do feel like there's been an ending here. For some of you, it could have been a marriage or a long-term connection. I see you being very single, very independent. Actually, your spirituality is increasing as well. You're putting up boundaries here. Whatever this ending was, this loss that you experienced, it destabilized things, but it actually seems like it has projected you into your own stability and, you know, making sure that you put up the proper boundaries in connections and relationships. So I feel like you're in a very spiritual energy here. You're standing strong. The Nine of Pentacles is the Empress in the lower arcana. So you're knowing your value, you're knowing your self-worth, and yet there still is a little bit of a sense of loss. So let's see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Capricorn's energy. Waiting to see how that card's going to turn. That was interesting. All right, so the person in your energy has the Nine of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and then coming out together is the King of Swords along with the Four of Wands reversed. Now, this is the card that just spun and spun and spun. So this person is trying to figure out if there is any stability to this connection. Is it over for good, or is it something that can be, you know, brought back together? They're up in their head for sure. This person's experiencing sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety. They definitely want to talk to you. I feel like, you know, they're a little bit in this energy of kind of, you know, making head over heart decisions after the end of this connection. They definitely want to talk, though. I definitely see that. It might start small and they're hoping that it leads to a bigger energy. I don't see deception in their energy, which is good. This could be somebody that, you know, because you have the Queen of Swords, they have the King of Swords. This could be a divine partner. It definitely was a very compatible energy between the two of you, but you're both showing an ending as well. So let me see. Show me the energy between Capricorn and this person. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's a balanced give and take. So somebody could have been given their energy to more than one person, but it's both of you want the same thing, which is a balanced, equal give and take. You may be feeling that there's a lot of people or a lot of responsibilities, a lot of people wanting things from you, a lot of responsibilities, particularly financial. Let me see. Show me what's affecting this connection. Five of Wands reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So what's affecting the connection is there's been some conflict here. You're all for ending that conflict or coming out of that conflict, but they're kind of stuck. They're unable to do so. There's a lot of stuck energy here. I do feel like they're going to reach out to you, though. Show me the outcome. Show me the outcome for Capricorn. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, you both have feelings. You both have feelings, but you're holding those feelings and emotions back. Neither of you are expressing them. You're both kind of being a little bit icy with each other. I do feel like there will be some communication, likely initiated by this person. that's in your energy. But I feel like you will also talk with them. Both of you have your swords lowered, and that's good energy, but it's kind of it's almost like a dry energy. It's like, yeah, let's just have this discussion. Let's just end this conflict. Let me see the bottom of the deck. You have the Six of Cups in the reverse. So that's underlying energy. You may be trying to release this person out of your energy. Yeah, because that's releasing something or someone from the past. Now, it's also possible that you both are recognizing that you need to release, this past stuck energy that led you to this ending. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the King of Pentacles in the reverse? You might be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. The Empress. And the Queen of Pentacles. You could also be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer. So I do feel like you feel that this is a person who is highly compatible with you, possibly even a divine partner, but you don't feel like you're on the same page. I also feel like you're deeply into your feminine energy right now. You could be affected by a mother or a maternal figure. But I feel like you're working at your own stability. I feel like the loss of this connection affected you, possibly financially, but definitely with your stability. And so now you're realizing, well, you know what? I will provide my own stability here. I can balance out my own energy. Now, I like that you know your value, your self-worth. I feel like you have been incredibly nurturing in this connection. And then it was like you still weren't on the same page with this person. So I like your energy. I like that you know your value, your self-worth. You're not chasing after anyone. I do see you doing a lot of self-care. I see you stepping into your power. So your energy looks really good, really strong here. You're definitely focused on your family, your children if you have children, your home. Definitely doing a lot of self-care because you're trying to bring balance back into your life. A lot of you are working very hard, to create stability financially for yourself. And it's working. Why is the Nine of Pentacles here for Capricorn? Why is the Nine of Pentacles here for Capricorn? All right, we have the Hangman reversed. We have the Five of Wands reversed. Now that's strong energy of avoiding conflict. And then we have the Strength card in reverse. So I do feel that you waited quite some time in order to, in order to get your money straight, in order to balance out your energy. You're showing up here as somebody who is in the process of growth. The Nine of Pentacles is the Empress in the lower arcana. Further down the road, we see you stepping into the Empress energy. So I feel like you're in the process of growth. You're now viewing things, this entire scenario, from a different perspective. In the past, you may have been viewing it out of the eyes of fear. And I feel like you're stepping out of that. You're avoiding conflict. You want to resolve any conflict that is there. You just are viewing things from a much more spiritual perspective. So I do think that that's positive here. In the past, it looks like you viewed things out of the eyes of fear. Why is the Queen of Swords here for Capricorn? Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups. So you have a choice. You have choices in love, and you're aware of it. I mean, I'm talking to a Capricorn here that definitely knows their value, definitely knows their self-worth. You've gone through a lot. Queen of Swords is known as the divorce queen, but you're also encompassing the Empress. You're encompassing the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you've stepped into your power, but it's been through loss. It's been through conflict. And I feel like you know that you have a choice in love. Now, do you want to be with this person? Well, there's some confusion with regard to that. I feel like this person may be, you are confused as to whether it's best for you to move forward on your own, or if it's best for you to maybe reconcile with this person. We do see them making some kind of an offer here and worried about what you're going to do with that offer. So, you know, there's some confusion about what it is that you really want with regard to love. And part of that is because you're a little bit guarded right now. But you have choices, so I like that for you. Let's look at their energy. Why is the Nine of Swords in reverse for the person in Capricorn's energy? Ooh, they're defensive. Seven of Wands, Knight of Swords. Yeah, so they're going to come towards you rather quickly and impulsively. It's like they've been thinking and worrying, and they've had all this anxiety, these sleepless nights. They're like, no, I got to stand my ground with Capricorn. And then all of a sudden, they just come towards you to speak their truth. And it looks like it will be done impulsively. Yeah. Let me see this Page of Pentacles. Show me the Page of Pentacles for the person in Capricorn's energy. The Moon and the Queen of Wands. All right, so yeah, this person is, they're an attractive person. This is somebody who is very attractive, very charismatic. They've got a little glow up going on. They really don't know how to move forward, though. There's this stuck energy here. They want to talk to you, but they don't even know what to say. This person is passionate about you, I will say that. There's also the energy for some of you of this person approaching a subject. They feel like there has been somebody else in the energy, that there's been a third party here, but they don't know for certain, and they can't get that out of their head. I don't know who that's for, but, you know, this person is suspicious. They feel like there was a new person, a third party. Maybe they're wondering if you're with somebody now, but they can't get it out of their head. They're wondering about a third party. Let me see the bottom energy. You could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius. Show me this bottom energy for the person in Capricorn's energy. All right, so we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. We have the Ten of Wands reversed. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so I do see this person wanting to talk, but whereas they're saying, I want an equal balance, give and take, they're saying at the end of the day, that's not what you're providing. This person, like I said, is very suspicious that there's somebody else in your energy, someone new. So I do see them wanting to resolve the problems. If there is somebody new in your energy, they want to know. They feel like you're keeping secrets. I do feel like this person wants to turn the page. There's been all this stuck energy. Here we see that reversing. So I do feel like this person is feeling like they want to resolve the problems here and they want to move forward. I do see both of you kind of approaching this from a non-emotional standpoint, just like matter-of-fact discussion. But this person's going to say, all I wanted was a balanced, equal give and take, and that's not what you're giving me. So let me look at the energy between Capricorn and this person. Show me the energy between Capricorn and this person. The Sun card in reverse and the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you're very guarded with this person. And I feel like there's something going on with your money, Capricorn. You may have had like some kind of sudden loss of money, and now you're having to be very careful. You're working very hard to bring back stability, which it does look like you are. But you're very guarded with this person. You're very guarded. You may feel like this person is just approaching you for finances or money. In their energy, they're very defensive. They're saying, I'm unhappy here. There's conflict that's here between the two of us. This has made me unhappy. There's been some things here about you that's been revealed, and I don't like it. It's causing me to be upset. So they are coming towards you, but they're not coming towards you in a very happy manner. And they might be kind of keeping some things hidden as well, but they believe that the conflict between the two of you is because you keep secrets, basically. So let me see. And I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's their perspective. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands reversed. We have the Magician in reverse, and we have the Three of Cups. So what's affecting the connection is a lack of communication. It's the energy of the connection being on, off, on, off. So there's no consistency in the connection. And I do feel like that neither of you are really talking about what's going on with yourselves. You feel like this is not manifested properly. You just want to avoid any kind of conflict with this person. You don't want to fight with them, but you don't really care to talk to them either. So I feel like you're enjoying being single. You're enjoying your freedom, as it were, but you don't want to be on odds with this person either. So there is a little bit of energy of some manipulation. Either you may feel this person's been trying to manipulate you, or you could manipulate the situation in order to avoid conflict. Now, there's also this energy of this person saying, I want to reconcile with you, but I'm not over what took place here. I feel like you've been a player. I feel like you're in one foot in this connection, one foot out of this connection. I feel like you're partying. I feel like you're keeping secrets. I feel like you had somebody else, and they cannot release that. They can't let it go. That's what's causing all of the anxiety, and that's what also caused the conflict between the two of you. So let me, let's look at your outcome. They literally can't let that thought go. Show me the outcome for Capricorn. All right, so we have the Four of Cups. We have the Page of Wands reversed, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. So in your outcome, you both still have feelings for each other, but you're both holding back emotionally. I do feel like you're both looking at the past. You're both thinking about each other. But as far as love, I'm wondering if this is a situation, for some of you, there could be a situation where there's a child with this Page of Wands here. I'm wondering if this is a situation where you're kind of grown apart. You want different things. And maybe, you know, you love each other, but maybe you're not in love with each other. I don't know. Or maybe that's the way it is for one of you. Excuse me. But with regard to, you know, the feelings and emotions, I feel like you're both kind of missing that. There's a little bit of guardedness. There's a little bit of holding back feelings and emotions and not recognizing that the other person has feelings and emotions. Now, in your energy, I do feel like you're a little bit confused as to what it is that you really want. Ultimately, when this person comes forward, you're not going to see it as good news. You're going to see it as, you know, the potential for more conflict. And I do feel like while you do want love in your life, you're looking at different options here, and you are enjoying being single. So I don't feel like you even want to discuss, you know, working things out with this person, to be quite honest. In their energy, I do feel like they have heavily invested in this connection, and they didn't get an equal give and take. So they're approaching you to try to move things forward. They're approaching you to try to resolve the problems, but they're still heavily holding on to the past, which is something that, you know, in order for this to move forward, would have to be released. And I don't feel like right now they're able to do that. So I do feel like this person is kind of waiting to see what you're going to do. They're waiting to see, are you going to talk with them? Are you going to recognize what it is that they have been, you know, bringing to the table? Are you going to show feelings and emotions? So they're in this very patient energy, but yet holding on to the past things that have happened. And at some point, if things can't be resolved, it looks as if they're going to move forward. Yeah, so bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. That's underlying energy, and it does indicate active movement. It indicates something, you know, somebody taking action here. So whether it's you or whether it's the other person, I feel like it's more the other person. I feel like you're just kind of trying to avoid the conflict. This person, though, is holding on to the past, and that's what we see the action related to. I feel like they're going to actively try to release this connection and move forward. Yeah. So it's going to be hard, though, because this person actually does want a reconciliation. But I feel like it's this idealized version that they have in their head and not the reality. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm going to pull a oracle card. Pulling for Capricorn. Pulling for Capricorn. All right, we usually take the bottom. All right, Capricorn, you have number 4, and it's called Spirit of Place. All right, now it came out in the reverse, and we do take reversals, so give me just a moment. 4 in reverse does indicate feeling like there's a little bit of lack of stability right now, and it does speak to the ending of this connection. So it's talking about authenticity is the essence of power. Now in the reversal, it says, don't get entangled in details or desires that obscure the truth of your situation. Step back and ask yourself, what is the real nature of my inquiry? Even exquisitely seductive hidden agendas cannot conceal this. Trust your intuition. The spirit of place is whispering in your ear. You hold the power to tell the truth, first to yourself and then to the world. You can always distinguish between an essence that is true and one that is synthetic. Be honest with yourself and remain willing to let your situation be revealed for what it really is and not what you want it to be. An apple can't become an orange, just as a dog can never be a bird. Are you trying to change someone or something to suit your agenda? Only when you see things as they truly are will you find the real treasure. Oof. All right, well, I hope that has been helpful for you, Capricorn. If you've resonated with this reading, please hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Capricorn, know that you are loved, and namaste.